Hi, welcome back to the kink of Heated Rivalry. I'm Jane Boone, your pervy Sherpa. In Heated Rivalry, we see many instances that are infused with kink. For instance, in the cottage in episode 6, when Shane takes a call from Hayden, we witness an exciting but complex moment between Shane and Ilya. I've written 2 BDSM novels, so I write scenes interrogating power and consent all the time. Please let me explain. So the phone rings while the 2 men are gaming. Shane takes the call while Ilya makes faces beside him. After a few seconds, Ilya walks his fingers up Shane's legs towards his crotch. Shane slaps them away. Ilya pauses, then gestures towards Shane's crotch again. This time Shane is more gentle when pushing Ilya's hand away. Shane resumes chatting while Ilya begins to paw at Shane's thighs. Shane puts the phone on mute and quietly says, "Please stop." They chat a little more and Shane says, "Later." Ilya counters with a proposal. "I will touch you, and if you get hard." Shane counters with, "I won't get hard." And Ilya replies, "So, no problem then." Shane then unmutes his phone while Ilya teases him, a kind of game of arousal and distraction with a whiff of erotic humiliation after all. Shane doesn't want to be found out by Hayden. This spicy mix ensures that it doesn't take long before Shane becomes aroused and erect. Now, the obvious question is, did Shane consent to this game? He'd said no, slapped Ilya's hand away, and yet, this is where their familiarity is so critical. It seemed to me that Shane had tacitly agreed to the game. After all, he had perched on the back of the couch with his crotch right there, giving Ilya easy access to it. And then he followed the game as he did his best to keep talking to Hayden, even as Ilya was going down on him, coupled with slaps and grabs. And when his concentration flagged, he put the call on mute to catch his breath before the 2 resumed. And when it was all over, Shane said, "Why was that so hot?" Now, Ilya could have been more explicit in asserting what his plan was going to be, and he could have been more accommodating at that first sign that Shane wanted to be on the phone, but both guys seemed to enjoy the interaction. So let's just call it messy. There's a kind of play in BDSM called consensual non-consensuality, which is where playmates agree explicitly beforehand to do things that may appear as if consent is not present. At its most extreme, it could be enacting a rape scene. What we saw at the cottage was very mild and much less fraught. And in this episode, there was no formal negotiation between Ilya and Shane, as we might encounter with seasoned BDSM players. But the 2 men have a long history together, and by this time they're in their late 20s, and they're both professionals at the top of their game. So neither is a rookie or otherwise disadvantaged relative to the other. Let's call the moment utterly human and downright hot, and leave it at that, with the caveat that you really shouldn't try this sort of thing with someone you don't know extremely well, because your results could be very different. Because if we compare what happened on the screen with the gold standard of affirmative consent, Ilya fell short. Please let me know if you'd like me to discuss any other kinky moments in Heated Rivalry, because I consent to more. Thank you.